What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm back. I wanted to get kind of more into dreams, and if sleep paralysis pop up, I'm gonna get back into it. I had something I wanted to say, but it literally left my mind. But it's like with dreams, we do I want to clear? I want to clarify something first. I was talking about how it's just two different worlds, two different parents, and I misspoke and spoke too fast in a sense. So I said we're trying to create both, but we're literally trying to combine them together and create new worlds, and that's why I was saying humanity plus our spirit equals God or whatever. But with dreams, I was talking about how you can come back into those dreams, and like I feel like if I put all my sleep paralysis dreams together, for the most part, one dream I felt like I was breaking out, like I said, with my arms and my legs, and then another dream I felt like I was like just fighting, like I feel like I'm just trying to break out, and I have more dreams like that, like if my mom was like pushing me out and I'm trying to fight through, or I'm trying to like break the eggshell or whatever, or break the whatever I'm trying to get out of. And then when I say I went into the dream where I tried to roll over, and literally, like I say, from sleep paralysis, you feel like you're up. So when I say I feel like I rolled over and I was still up, like, and stood up in front of my mirror, I thought I was up until I seen the version of myself. And I said it's something bigger than me. I meant to say a different version of myself, a little like a more powerful version of myself, like my Thanos self in a sense. Like that's how big the reflection was in the mirror. And that's when I was like, oh, I'm dreaming. This not real anymore. Like, well, in the sense of this is not my the world that I thought I was in. And that was like one of the more recent ones, and versus kind of how I've been, like, I think the last sleep paralysis I started moving around a little bit more too. It's like I feel like that Doctor Strange where he learned how to astral project, in a sense where she threw him out of his body and he was just going everywhere trying to just like whatever, really he ain't had no control in a sense, versus him starting to understand and be able to leave out of his body and actually have astro fights and shit like that. So I wonder if that's kind of what we're doing, where I can leave, come back, or is it I'm just gonna have a whole nother other body. And the reason why I say this is because literally, like, when I dream, I go into different worlds, and I've been in those worlds before. Like I can remember, like I've been in this dream before, and I move around in that dream a lot easier, or it helps me identify that I'm dreaming a lot easier, so I have control. It's like almost deja vu in a dream, and it might be that I'm in the same library, or it's the same school, or it's the same building, but I remember that I'm in a dream now, and I can start flowing like that and not be so distracted almost because I'm fearing that something may happen to me. Like I know I'm the controller in a sense, so I'm having fun or doing whatever the fuck I want to do because I know it's a dream, and I'm not letting physical or human shit stop me from living my dream life, because whatever wrong in human life, like if I kill somebody in my dream self, I might be killing a version of myself, which is completely acceptable in my eyes, versus if you was to kill somebody in this reality, they won't look at it as you killing a version of yourself or some shit. So I'm not gonna bring the same murder and the same thief and the same. I'm not bringing those morals into the same dream world, because it's different. It's not the same at all. Like people think it's the same morals. Like I talked about that before. Where girls think that you shoplift and shit, that you're karmically bad, but it's all about your heart. So if you in control of your heart, then that means you're in control of whatever you want to do in that reality. So whatever you consider stealing, it's not stealing, nigga. It's yours in a sense, especially in the dream world, because you created it in your mind. So to think that you can't take out of a store that you created in your mind would be insane. So don't bring those same moral things into your reality. It's like that's just how I look at it. But it's many different things from. You might not like having sex. You might think that you're cheating on your spouse because you're in the spirit world, where it's like, no, I mean, nigga, you're in the spirit world. Do what you got to do, because that might be a god or something giving you energy in a sense. And that's how I look at sexual energy, anyways, because all merging of energies is truly, sexual, even if you're not actually doing something physical. That's why they call it flirtation or something like that. But it's still the same shit. Like you get those same feelings that lead up to sex, so it's the same shit. Like you're in a dangerous territory when you flirting and you really not supposed to in a sense, or you got other obligations. But yeah, being in the dreams, like when I say I'd be in a library, I remember that I was in that library before, or um, certain reactions or certain things that I do, I've done it before, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'm dreaming now, and I start doing what I want, and I feel like a part of the sleep paralysis is just a part of me like releasing myself in a sense from this body and being in more control and over my over everything and not just over the now in a sense. And the reason I say that is just because the spirit world is that's you have past shit you go through, the future shit, there's all type of shit. Like you can look at yourself like what I say is you can see the future self like you being wealthy or rich or some shit, or you can see the past self of when you was like down on your ass or whatever. Like I don't play football no more, but I have all type of football dreams, and that's really something that relates to my past more than the now. So that's what I mean where I say when you dream, you everywhere in a sense. But the more you start to understand and have control, I'm truly just venting and just trying to get off with my thoughts at this moment because I really don't have a true answer. But that's how it feels. Like I feel like I'm more in the spiritual world than I'm in this world. And then the days go by faster in this world, so I'm dreaming more and more. Seems like that's what it seems like. And the more I dream, the more I have these sleep paralysis. Like I said, I've been having it like the literally this week. It's happened 3 times already. Well, at least the past 7 days. This week just started, but yeah, I mean, it just feels like that's what I'm doing with the Bobby Hemmett, honing in and really bringing myself together. Talk about being holistic, not fearing anything, not fearing my past, not fearing the now, not fearing my future. Like whatever comes, like for one thing I caught myself doing was like, man, I'm tired of experiencing shit because everything I've been experiencing has been trash in my eyes. But it's like, well, I'm allowing my past to affect my future and my now because those are my past things that happened to me. Just because I have just all experience is not gonna be negative, but I've been so in the rut in the past year or two. It almost feel like I'm tired of experiencing shit in the hole, so I don't even want to go through shit no more. And that was another battle I had to fight and understand more. But understanding that just leads to more control in my dream world too, because I understand it's just more understanding, and the more understanding you have of this reality, it's just a reflection of the other realities. But trying to just think what else. The thing never popped up on my mind. I started talking about sleep paralysis, but I still never touched on really what I wanted to say. At least I don't think I did. I probably did, low key. Whatever the spirit say. But yeah, I mean, as far as just not bringing my fears or bringing human shit into dream worlds is very important because, like I said, you're a god now. You're the controller of what you want to do, and you're not the product of these environments no more. I mean, you can be, and that's when you keep running away from shit in dreams. You keep letting shit. You keep thinking other shit more powerful than yourself, and that's literally you probably think the same shit in this world, and that's just how you live. And until you get out of that shit, in one world you're gonna be stuck. I can guarantee that shit. Most likely it's the spirit where you're gonna have to figure out first, but shit you never know. To each his own. Everybody argue differently, but I know I had to figure out shit. At least I had to figure out my spirit, even though I didn't know I was figuring it out. Shit. Honestly, I was like, I'm tired of doing shit. I felt I was like I ain't have passion in certain shit. I'm being right now off topic like a motherfucker. I'll probably talking about my dreams, but I don't know. Trying to think of a dream that I could just tap into real quick, but none of them seem to pop up. So it is what it is. But as far as the sleep paralysis, I really feel like we're breaking out, and the fear should keep popping up, so I'm feeling like I have to finish something with it. I mean, I feel like I said it best, man. It's literally all in your head with the sleep paralysis shit, with the lady on your chest. With like for me, when I woke up on my sleep paralysis recently, I feel like somebody was in here. Like I felt like I heard a radio or some shit, like a cop radio or some shit. So that made me wake up. But that's just some shit in my head, honestly. So I had to figure that out. And literally the next day I was out of that shit. I'm like, nah, I know what that is. I'm not gonna let that shit stay there. But yeah, I mean, I see what happens tonight, bro. Like, oh shit, it happened today. Like literally, like it's so weird, bro. Cause I'm literally my girl getting dressed for work, and I'm seeing her get dressed for work, but I'm not like I'm asleep. Like and I know I'm not in my house because it's like a different reality, but it's like it's the same setup and shit like that, and like she doing the same shit, but I was asleep, and it's like my mind literally was going through that ringing shit, and then once it stopped, like I was like, it felt like I was up consciously watching her get dressed. Like I mean, I was literally watching her get dressed in my dream, and that shit's like crazy to me. And I don't really, I mean, like I said, I feel like it could be an out of body experience. So like shit like that, man. It's so crazy because it's like I literally feel like I'm up. I'm in the reality, like I feel like I'm dreaming. So I feel like I'm literally tapping into my dream world, and I'm starting to hone into that world even more. And not even this world. Like I said, I kind of feel like I'm leaving this world more than I'm staying in this hoe. Like I feel like this hoe becoming more like a dream than reality. Like you see all the illusions and shit. Like I don't even take this reality serious no more. Like take my dreams more serious than this reality. So it's like this reality's fading while I'm honing into my spiritual self. And like I was saying, what Bobby Hemming saying, our spiritual self honed into us. It might be the opposite way. Like it might not be our spirit. I mean, I ain't gonna say that, but you never know. It might not be our higher self tapping into us and honing into this human reality, so we can live this human reality better. Maybe it's bringing our human shit to the spirit, and all right, now, like I said earlier, like we from that human hood. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to clarify the Jay-Z shit, and I mean it just I'm trying to remember what I said. But with the Trump and shit, it's just the analogy is just saying that like people that's born from suburbs, people that don't see the savage shit in life wouldn't understand it. So when we try to communicate how hard it was to rise up and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, other people might not understand or have empathy or sympathy for us in a sense because they never went through that shit, so they would never understand us. But the fact that we've been through the poorest of the poor, we've been the most oppressed, we forgot ourselves, and then we still rise up to be rich is just a reflection of what we're supposed to be doing in our kingdom. And that's what I was trying to say, but I ain't had no more time though, so I had to rush that shit out. So I mean, that's how I see it. Like, our people in heaven, they probably came from other planets and other realities where humanity, they wasn't as beastly as humanity. It wasn't much of a void as humanity had to feel. But now we came into this reality doing a whole lot, some whole lot deeper shit in a whole other space we have to figure out versus the other spaces that our ancestors and shit figured out. Or I wouldn't say ancestors because people wouldn't understand it, but past selves, because our past selves could live in other realities versus our ancestors. We see them all as being on Earth type shit. But yeah, I mean that's how I look at it. I mean that's how Bobby explained it. That makes the most sense. Like other planets, like Gamora, like she went through certain shit. Like Gamora planet, she went through way harder shit in her planet and dealing with Thanos versus with what's her boyfriend name? The white dude, when he was on Earth. Yeah, he separated from his parent, but she ended up seeing her whole what's her name gets destroyed. And you see how she take Thanos more seriously than he do because he never been through that experience. And then you see how hard he go because of shit he been through. And it just go to show like just that it's a reflection of what we're doing in the spirit. We had to come from all this oppression and struggle and all this shit because, I mean, that's the grimiest of the grime, the dirtiest of the dirt. That's the soil we needed to come out of, and that soil gonna make some pretty ripe ass fruit, and we're gonna be some purely powerful superfoods. But yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to go over that Jay-Z shit. I was wondering. I'm like, bro, what the fuck was? I couldn't remember. I had to rush that shit out last video, but I'm running out of time already, so like, subscribe, because I was supposed to say that in the last video, in the beginning of this video. Share, check out my playlist if y'all want to find out some information where I got my shits. The spiritual playlist, you can also go through my likes. Check out Absolutely Unsure in my podcast with my boys. It's in the playlist. Provocative Thoughts, y'all tune into that. Yeah, man, like, subscribe, tell your friends, leave some questions. I'm up for those. I'm in that energy, so deuces. I'm out.